you need to know your role in the match. And your role in the match is not to shoot ball with your paper shurikens. I like that you're forcing the ball here at the start. Now, Ball already used shields. Yes, Ball still has a grapple and can maybe do something, but Ball isn't really doing anything here, right? If you stop to think about it, look at this. Ball is trying to push you way too into your territory. If Ball does anything around this area, it's very hard for the enemy team to follow up on it. Very, very hard. So this Ball is pretty useless, and Ball has wasted cooldowns. Now that you forced the ball out, it's time for you to walk and do whatever you want. So for example, okay, force ball out, there's the Hanzo main, can I get to him? No, he's a little too far away. Maybe I need to rotate Hotel to go and challenge the Hanzo, right? Can I go for the soldier up top? Maybe. Maybe if I walk a little bit and dash distance, maybe I can go for a combo, just try to contest him off the high ground, right? Use the time where ball is useless because they misused their cooldowns and in a place that they couldn't have follow-up on, to have a quick 5v4 or use that time to navigate the map less contested, right? But instead, what we end up doing is not really moving forward at all. We don't really have a goal here, right? You're just vaguely walking forward without knowing what you want to do. Look here, for example. Mercy. That's a great target. She's a little bit split. Yes, you can fly, but imagine if you dash here, stand in front of her, shoot. Then she might react to you and try to fly away. Then while she's flying away, you shoot again. She's FHP. Your team goes in on that, follows up. Look at your ball. Right? Outside of like pressuring this Mercy out and gaining space on the map, you should be looking at what your tank is doing, especially if it's like a dive tank, and trying to follow up on it, right? Look at that happens. Ball engages, both squishes are, both DPS are in it. Hanzo goes to half HP, Soldier is a little bit more healthy. And where are you? Right? You're not following up on it. The burst is flying here, maybe you could try to intercept her in there. Not the most likely kill in the world, but I would personally go for it because if Mercy is flying here, she's out of position and I'm gonna try to punish her in rotation, right? That's something that I at least am personally good at, which is like reading the movements, like long movement abilities like this, being able to use my projectiles to hit them with the animation cancel, dash, and then the place that I'm positioned on dash lets me do a follow-up shot where she's going to be ending up at. Which a lot of the times can just be a straight up kill that I get to solo on her. In this situation, since she got body shot by Hanzo, she didn't just move because she was out of position, right? Because Soldier gave up the high ground. This would probably be a free kill for you if you just dash, hit a single shuriken in melee. Now you're trying to move in. Try to get a finish on the Soldier, can't get. Now here it's good. And you actually back up the corner, you get booped, unfortunate, you climb quickly. Now you're out of Hanzo LOS. Now you're waiting, ball engages. You didn't even look up to see when your ball will engage. It doesn't feel like you were properly setting up for that engagement when counting on it, right? Because yes, you do hit him, but you hit him late. He's already getting Mercy Pocket, he is already getting Kiriko Pockets, right? When ball slams, most of the time you want to kill them the moment that the slam hits and they go up from the slam, right? Something such as a dash, secondary fire, melee combo, right? Where you buffer those two actions after the dash, or during the dash rather. And that is going to be instant burst that is going to be comboed with the power drive, and that usually is going to be the kill on any squishy. Because that combo does 161 damage. Just from Genji. Power drive is like up to 100 damage, right? So even if it's relatively far away, it can still end up doing the 39 damage that you need to finish someone off. Granted, they don't get healed, right? But the whole point of this play is to have the instant burst, right? You can get that instant burst while doing a combo. Doing a combo where you buffer the actions to have the damage instances be as close as possible together. This is why I don't really like this delayed engagement. Not only that, you deflect, but you get stuck on geometry. Didn't pay attention to the statue. So you could have rotated over here. You could even have rotated, got the mini while deflecting, and then quickly go here, and you would be safe. you were a little bit slow in your rotate, and you only weren't punished on that rotate because the opponent team wasn't as good of players, right? If you were playing against better players, you would just be dead right now because of your slow rotation. Hanzo is in your right. Good attempt at the combo on him. Unfortunately, he's getting a lot of pockets. There, that was pretty good. Contested him, got him off the angle. If he didn't get peeled, you would have gotten the kill. I like that. That was good. No reason for you to move close to this ball though. You can shoot the ball here. Basically the same effectiveness. Ball is probably going to run away back to his team, although Ball could go grab this mega, right? And if you go closer to the ball here and the ball starts to run, Ball can very quickly LOS you. While if you are staying here in the statue, you're kind of cutting him off. So you can hit him from here, you can hit him when he rotates and you're gonna be close range, and then when he gets, let's say, around here, you're still in a relatively good distance and maybe you can dash and try to finish, right? Much better for you to be holding statue. Not only that, if you see that Ball pops shields and the ball isn't gonna die here, and considering that, for example, your Hanzo is dead, it's less likely that he will die, right? The ball will die. Then it's probably much better for you to see, okay, is Ball doing anything in this engagement? No, let's ignore Ball. Let's go for his squishes. Because in fact, most of the time you as Genji should be ignoring the Ball because you basically don't do anything to Ball. See the Ball engagement, see that Ball is not gonna be annoying you, see that your supports are fine, boom. Look for the Hanzo, look for the Soldier, look for the Hiriko, look for the Mercy, whatever, right? Hold the statue. Statue is a great position. Right? Look at that. Look at how much time and resources you wasted on the ball. If Hanzo didn't shoot himself there, you would have the disadvantage in that until you got healed. And even then, right? Because you wasted dash on the ball, you didn't have it for the Hanzo. If you did have the dash for the Hanzo, that Hanzo would probably be dead because this time the supports were placed far back compared to what they were before and where they could peel the Hanzo and save him from your engagement, right? Here, you didn't have deflect. Not only that, the ball was engaging on you, you should be dashing out. Dash out to avoid the pile drive damage, dash out even after it, with a moment that you hear the visor and you see you're gonna get stuck, to dodge it, right? No reason for you to just not do anything at all when you could have lived there. Brushing the Soldier. That was a late nano, but okay. You're walking backward. You want some nano blade enemy team. So why are you walking backward? You should be walking at them so that you are as close as possible during the engagement, right? Not only that, you didn't look at where your Ana was. If your Ana was, let's say here, right, she couldn't nano you. So you need to know, where is my Ana so that she can nano me? Will she be able to see if I dash up here, or am I cutting LOS? If the answer is no, right, because this is like ideal, let's say you were close to your Winston and dash up here, you would be right above the perfect view, perfect setup, right? The Ana can see you, so that's all. I verified that my Ana is playing in a position where she can nano, I have the correct setup, I go for it. But here, you walked backward, you didn't verify your Ana positioning, and you did not use the dash that you had before the blade to get close to the enemy team, right? Yes, the nano is late. Let's see from the Ana POV. This is also another issue. Since you're not looking for a combo right at the start of blade, right, or either before the blade, where you get the nano and then you try to one-shot someone, animation cancel that one-shot with the blade pull, right? You're not trying to do something fancy like that. Dashing up is probably the best bet. This is why you get the late nano, because the Winston was, after he jumped in and bubbled, he walked backward while he walked forward, then he got in between you and the Ana, and the Ana had to wait to be able to guarantee the nano on you. So not dashing up there costs you nano blade time, setup, mobility, right? Everything costs you a lot. Now look at this. Because you missed the dash on the Soldier, if the Soldier didn't try to fight back and only tried to run, he might have been able to dodge the second swing. And from there on, what do? Ball is coming in to boop you, and the other squishes are running away. You could have gotten 0 kills with this. Because you had to use the dash to get in, instead of using the dash to be able to follow movement abilities or to do a quick burst of damage, right? That's again because you bladed here and dashed to get in instead of dashing up, blading in the air, falling down and being on their face while you were blading so that you had the dash to outplay cooldowns and stuff, right? And follow people if needed. So this was a very clumsy blade. It's going to work, I believe, but it's still questionable if you are going to win or not. Oh, and here unfortunately you dash before you finish the reload and you hit the wall. So now you're not getting that kill. Now the enemy team is probably going to recontest because it didn't get enough kills. I do really like this angle. Yeah, you don't need to be afraid there to dash the soldier, just like you're doing with the Hanzo. But yeah, you're gonna get the cap, it's gonna be delayed, unfortunately. But yeah. No reason for you to be here. Use the downtime to set up. Look at where your Winston is playing. Your Winston is trying to set up, right? Let's say that they don't clear this area and then they try to hold high ground. Then your Winston gets to drop on the backline for free. If he gets pressured out, he jumps. He didn't have to jump in, so he's not gonna die if he takes a lot of damage. Because he looked for a setup early, which is not what you're doing. You should be using this time to look for a setup, right? You up the enemy team, they now have to push back into you. So now it's basically a time where, yes, your team is doing the attack rounds and the enemy team is playing the defense rounds, right? But because you just want to fight and the enemy team has to come back from spawns all the way until they get to fight, your team should be able to hold space and basically play defense for a temporary amount of time. Where you hold the space and enemy teams has to fight for that space. Which is essentially what most of the time the team on the attacking round has to do, right? You spawn here, the enemy team is already set up, right? Soldier on the high ground, maybe Hand on the statue, Mercy with the soldier, whatever, right? And you have to fight for space before you can have anything meaningful, before you can actually have a fair fight, right? You're not utilizing this time to actually set up for free and deny them positions and make them your progress slower or trying to get an advantage or an assassination or whatever, right? And that position where the Winston tried to set up in would have been great. And look at this. If you were set up, these mines wouldn't do anything. But because you're playing with your team, right there at the Kiriko, then you're being affected by something that shouldn't really affect you. Imagine right now, you were here. You can drop on the Hanzo, you can drop on the Mercy, you can drop on the Lucio, you can drop on the Soldier, and yes, obviously it would be better to drop on something like a Mercy or a Lucio here, right? Anything but the Soldier realistically, because of the pocket that he's getting, but even then, right? Pocketing or rather targeting one of the supports means that they can only get support from one other person, right? The true DPS can get support from both supports. This would be amazing because their team is like, oh yes, ball is in, ball mines, let's push the advantage, let's see if we can get any kills, let's see if anyone is split. Oh hey, Winston, let's shoot the Winston, right? And then you, during this time, you hit the backline. Boom, assassination, chaos. You turn a fight that the enemy team is confident in winning or think they have the advantage on and flip the tables, right? And yeah, now you have to wait because of the mines. Then you get logged because the Hanzo just spams in the direction that there are a lot of enemies, right? This should never be something that you're having to deal with, right? You have a great passive mobility. Won a fight, you should be able to set up and you didn't. You played like you were a immobile character when you aren't an immobile character, right? Good, good. You're walking. You can walk for free here. As long as this Hanzo, right, which you only notice now, isn't looking at you and trying to shoot you on the rotate, because everyone is looking at the Winston, you get to walk for free. It's not even because of the bubble that you get to walk. You do notice the Hanzo. You try to turn at him. Unfortunately, you don't get the kill, but you had the right intention. But that was a lot better. This is not something that you should care about. Look how little you do to ball. Now you use basically everything to go for the ball. And you didn't get to use Kitsune ult as good as you could have. You're wasting too much time on the enemy tank when you barely do anything to the enemy tank. Now here, yeah, your team has to stabilize, so it's fair, I guess, that you're waiting. Now that they have beats, that's one of those moments where you're trying to go for a combo before the blade. Let's say that you ask for the nano and then you dash in, secondary fire, melee, hit everything. That's an instant kill on the Lucio because of the damage boost, doesn't even need headshots, right? Cancel the beats, that would be great. You can also try to do it by just, okay, I see the Lucio is close enough. So I'm gonna dash up, get the nano, pull out the blade, and if his reaction is low, I swing dash him before he hits the bit on the ground, right? And they Ajax him. That could be something that you do. There are many ways to approach this. You can also just nano blade and do what you did, which is like chew through by swinging a lot and deal with the overhealth, right? Probably not gonna get a lot of kills through that, but it's going to be a kill, right? The important thing is that, for example, you save the dash so that if the Lucio boops you, then you can follow, and then that's probably a kill. Because the beat isn't enough on its own to stop the nano blade because of just how much damage you can put out. Unless the enemy team can just repeatedly boop you away. This again, you didn't use the dash that you had before the blade, right? Because blade gives you a free dash reset. You didn't utilize that from ability. You didn't really think about the setup. You just were like, okay, I want a nano blade here. Let's pull out the blade, let's hope the enemy nanos me, and then I will go in and see what happens, right? This is not gonna work against better opponents. This is fine because you can deflect out, yep. Although it's not the best. I would say that it's probably better to walk up to the soldier with deflect and then try to dash out, but that's it. In that situation, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, and paying too much attention to the ball. Too much attention to the ball. You should never be getting hit by that. You can play on the high ground, be able to free shoot. Ball wouldn't be able to engage on you easily. You can then use the high grounds to go over here to the top and then hit the backline, right? Very easily. You can also play here, and then when you see the enemies try to push in, or you just wait, you can contest people that try to use Saigon. In the situation, they're probably gonna be main, right? In which case, you can just walk climb, double jump over, boom, hit the backline. In this case, you can maybe even get a kill on the Mercy because you are high up in the air, close to her. You can shoot, dash to get up again, or dash to follow, maybe follow, get a finishing shot, and boom, she's dead, right? You're not utilizing Genji's mobility. Right? Yes, you didn't get the kill on the Hanzo. Yes, the Hanzo almost killed you. Oh, you do turn back and get a nice deflect shot, but look at how much more you did. You did 100 damage to the Hanzo. And you did like, what, 200, 300 damage to the ball. And still, if you think about the percentage of health, that's still more damage to the Hanzo that you did to the ball, right? It's more useful to have done that 100 damage than it is to have done 200, 300, 400, whatever damage it is to the tank. Because that's one of the things that balls excels at. Tanking damage, soaking up cooldowns, and then letting the team play for free. And you're letting ball do that because you're not ignoring the ball because of the poor play, because that ball isn't really doing anything spectacular. The ball is just engaging repeatedly without much thought, without getting follow-up from the team, right? So as long as you ignore the ball, you should be golden to just free farm the enemy team. But you're giving them exactly what they want. Good kill on the soldier, they do res. Could you have stopped res? Maybe you could have stopped or tried to, but the way that you're playing here, I don't think it's bad necessarily. I don't think you need to rotate all the way back here. I think you can just stay under, wait for your cooldowns, or even just say, yeah, whatever, I don't think this Hanzo's gonna headshot me, I'm just gonna climb, contest him. If he body shots me, I drop and I hide, wait for cooldowns. If he pushes me, I probably have my cooldowns back, or maybe I can get the Mega. Well, in this case, you can't get the Mega because you just took it, but you can at least try to contest him and get him out of this position. And then from there, you reset your cooldowns, reset your health, stabilize, and then you can try to do a rollout over the roof, right? I don't think you have to give up the position completely and then, again, look at the ball and basically not do anything, right? Look at that! Not ideal damage to the Hanzo because you wasted a lot of ammo on the ball, but it's still much more meaningful than the damage on the Hanzo. Here you ended up screwing up your movements, didn't realize that your cooldowns were so short, didn't have the cool to actually line up the wall climb and the wall climb properly. I would say that in this situation, I guess someone that has such high damage as the Hanzo, I would probably just try to strafe until I had either deflect or dash, and then with that I can get back to cover. I almost have blade, probably one more fight. Soldiers on the high ground, let's see, do you go in there? Yes, you do go. You do know that the soldier is here. And again, it's the same thing. You are blading, but you have no idea what you're doing. What is the intention of this blade, right? You kill the soldier, great. Just kill the soldier, you dodge the dragon. In this situation, since the Ana died, Nano didn't even have Nano, but let's say that Ana is alive. You could think about waiting for Nano, maybe your Doom fades Nano and souls points, but in this situation it's probably like, okay, I'm gonna have to try to make a play in the chaos. So I'm going to dash up, pull out the blade on top of my enemies, maybe I do it and walk climb and try to use geometry of the map, right? To be able to stay safe during the time that I can deflect, which is try to use the geometry of the map, right, in cover to avoid being shot while I'm pulling out the blade, which is when I can't use deflect or something, right? And then from there on, right, if you dash up like that, you have an idea of where your opponents are. But what's going to end up happening is that you pull out the blade here, again, without using the dash, but you see enemies, and they're close, right? Lucio, Hanzo, right? Doom punches. But why are you dashing? You're so close to them. Swing, then dash. You don't have to use the dash to close the gap on them. You're not gonna get an insta-kill from dash swing. Not if the dry blade, right, without damage boosts or damage beforehand from you or your team, right? There is no reason for you to not just walk up, swing, then use the dash to outplay boop or follow movement or whatever, right? Or just use the animation cancel to deal damage faster as a burst. No reason whatsoever. There's just basically no planning. What this causes is, yes, it's unfortunate your Doom punches them away, but that dash wasn't great either. It's basically a wasted dash. You get the kill on the Hanzo here, but you could have gotten 2, maybe even 3 kills. Let's say you don't use the dash here, you just turn around, swing dash, Hanzo is dead, Lucio is 1, maybe swing again or just dash again. The Lucio should be dead, then you can maybe turn it the ball, but probably on the Mercy, right? Maybe try to kill her on the Valk, or in this situation she wouldn't even have Valk. So yeah, no reason for this blade to ever just get 1 kill. Now they have beats, they res, this is pointless. It's a Valkyrie Mercy, so she is very very hard to kill. Not only that, she has beats. The handle that is getting rezzed won't have beats, so you wait for him to get rezzed and then this is the opportunity for you to kill something. Alrighty, I guess you get a kill that you don't deserve here. Have to be careful of the mines. Lucio is anti, but you have to play a little bit safe because of the mines. Yep. And your team C9s. Not only that, you're tunnel visioning on the ball instead of going for the soldier on the high ground, right? Contesting him, getting a good position, right?
It seems like they're gonna play Zen Mercy.
So let's see if you tunnel vision the ball. Yep, you tunnel vision on the ball. This is pointless. Ball is basically full HP, your Ana is dead, you're not going on any squishes, they are all uncontested, right? 1 good target, 2 good targets, 3 good targets, right? Probably not, but you could contest him, or maybe kill him if you have enough burst, and bad target, right? So 3 great targets, 1 okay target, and 1 awful target, and you just picked the awful target. You lost your good position because you tried to chase an awful target when you could have been holding here. Now the Widow is scared to pick main, and if she isn't, you just pick the moment that she's hard scoped, 1 to 3 headshots, dash, is a kill. Or you see the Zen here, while you're waiting the statue, oh hey Zen, I'm gonna poke you a little bit, and if you give me the opportunity, if the Mercy doesn't peel, I'm just gonna engage on you, kill you, right? Perfect. It's just a great setup where you get to contest a lot of people, where you stay very flexible, because if they try to rotate here, you can hit them. If they try to rotate here, you can hit them. If they try to stay back here, maybe depending on the situation, and this is one of those situations, right? They have a Widow, you can just engage her if she is vulnerable enough, right? And look for a one-shot. That's not what you do. Now you do rotate out there, which is great. But now it's a little bit too late. The Widow isn't here anymore, the Widow's already on the high ground, right? So now it's gonna be taking a long time for you to be able to hit her. The Zen is already here and you're nowhere near being able to contest him. The Soldier is standing still, and this is like the major problem, right? Soldier is standing still. You have a flank that although late gave you an opportunity. What do? You shoot him at range. Okay, look for the Widow, didn't see the Widow. land here. You know the soldier is standing still. 1, 2, 3, shurikens to the head, dash, insta-kill. Now they're holding a better position. You're close to the statue again. You're closer to the widow. Maybe you can dash here, try to look for a kill on her, right? Triple headshot melee will kill because of the health nerf, right? She has 175 HP now. So you would have been able to just get both squishes even though you didn't quite deserve it and the timing is late. You would be able to at least swing the fight maybe, or maybe if you don't swing it immediately, maybe you win the long fights and give the enemy capture progress, right, on the points. You give them chill ticks or something like that, right? And instead of that, you just waste your opportunity by being lazy and just doing this, right? Like, why? You just warn him with paper shurikens instead of just decapitating him. Now you don't get the kill, now you're getting chased. Your rotation is bad, right? You need to realize in this situation the best way for you to survive is to keep playing ring around the rosy, or even just do the same except that you climb to the high ground so that you have a little bit of cover from the people in the low ground. If you play like here, you're probably covered from the soldier low ground, at least on that position that he was playing, plus you're covered from the widow, right? And then it's harder for the ball to reach you and do stuff, right? Yeah, this was rough. Not like you couldn't have won this, you could have single-handedly got this point for a team, even though your Ana got picked off early by the enemy widow, right? But because you're tunneling so much on the ball, right? Because you're tunneling so much on the ball, and this situation is one of the rare situations where it's fine. Your team has to retake space, you're forcing the ball out of this position, you're trying to fight for this, maybe you want to flank here on the left, or maybe you want to climb here to the high ground. And the ball is in the way. You can't just ignore the ball, unless you try to run away, right? So I think that this is one of the rare situations where focusing the ball is okay. But overall in this match, the amount of focus that you're giving ball is just good for the ball player and bad for you. Another situation where you can insta-kill the soldier because he is unaware of your position, and you don't do it, and you just spam secondary fire at range, right? That isn't just about not being able to read the opportunity, that's also just a bad habit that you have of spamming secondary fire at range instead of using the primary fire, right? And a lot of cages have that. A lot of cages just love secondary fire and don't realize when they should be using primary fire. Unless you can hit 2 or 3 shurikens with secondary fire, you should not be using it. You should be using the primary fire. Outside of like a very few exceptions. But most of the time, a good rule of thumb to follow as far as secondary fire goes is treat secondary fire as hit scan. Because the distances at which you want to be using your secondary fire are the distance where the projectile speed basically doesn't matter, right? That's why I said to treat it as a hit scan weapon, right? Because it's gonna be so close to your opponents that the shot is basically gonna travel instantly. It doesn't matter, the projectile isn't the fastest moving thing, right? Because the distance isn't big. That's a great general rule of thumb for using when to use the secondary fire, when not to use it, right? Treat the secondary fire as hit scan. And this is probably gonna be game, right? You're probably not even gonna be back in time. Oh, maybe you are gonna be back in time, but good thing that you changed to the soldier, but yeah, you probably had to kite that, or just you either have to kite or hard commit to him and burst him down quickly, right? Or you just dash through, quickly get the cover. You have the mega to run and then you LOS him and outrun him, right? By being very smart about map geometry. But you didn't do either, right? You didn't try to kill him and you didn't try to run away. Alright, if I was in your position, I would probably play for the clutch and just go for the kill on him. Because we lost people already, right? The Ana is coming back from spawn, the only person as long as aside you here is Orion. If you don't kill the soldier and then turn back and touch the point and then also kill the supports, right? Then you're losing this. You have to clutch or go home, right? And you just went home. Main points of this VOD has been the amount of focus that you gave to the enemy tank. You need to know your role in the match. And your role in the match is not to shoot ball with your paper shurikens. Your goal in the match is to assassinate squishes, right? Contest the DPS from taking the angle that he wants, right? You are not a character meant to destroy tanks. If you want to focus tanks, you pick Hanzo, you pick Echo, right? You pick Reaper depending on the tank, right? You pick those characters that are really good at going against tanks and love to shoot tanks, right? Or have good matchups into tanks. You don't go and pick Genji for his ability to fight tanks, because that's not what Genji is all about. Genji is all about his mobility, his flexibility, and his ability in duels and stuff, right? So you should be looking for those duels, because there are so many opportunities where if you just paid attention to them or you didn't pay attention to the ball, you would have been able to farm the squishes. You could have solo carried that game. Like, the ball is going in 1v5 and not doing anything, the DPS are not getting follow-up. You solo the backline, then it's just the ball, and then the ball is barely gonna be able to do anything, right? They're gonna be... The enemy team might end up flaming the ball because they think that the ball is useless and they need protection from the Genji, right? But because you focus the ball, then you end up losing the match, right? Simple as that.